Good morning, children. Children, in the previous classes, we tried to understand about how the people in plateau, people on delta, and people on hills try to lead a life. The lifestyle, how do they make their food, what kind of dress they wear, what kind of economical activities they perform. Such kind of things we try to understand in Penumakuru, in Dokuru, as well as in Penuguru. Now let us move on to the topic like gathering food and growing food. The earliest people, how do they gather food? It's not new to us, children. Have you ever wondered how do we get the food? From where do we get the food? Have you ever wondered that? So, and what tools are used in the process of gathering the food or in the cultivating the food? Who invented these tools? The tools which we are using today, it may be a plow, it may be a crowbar, it may be a sickle. These tools, who invented them? And can you imagine the life of people who did not grow any crops, but still they managed to gather the food and eat? Have you ever imagined about them? They were naturally gathering the food from their surroundings and they were living. And if you look at the picture given in the textbook, you can find out how the earliest people used to gather the food. Not even the earliest people, children. In the previous chapter in Penugolu, we have studied that the men were on the job of cultivating the food, but whereas after the harvest season, most of the women and children were on the job of gathering the food. The edible tubers or the edible herbs, whatever are available, they were, and even the ripened fruits, the wild fruits, they were trying to gather them and cook and eat. Even bamboo also we have seen in the previous chapter in the Penuguru. So now let us learn about how these earliest people used to gather the food and they eat. That is from thousands of years ago. People had sustained themselves by collecting the fruits, collecting the flowers, honey, which is one of the forest product. We have seen even in Penugolu, two important things they used to get. One is honey, the other one is bamboo. These are the two important ingredients in the forest, isn't it? So wild grains and even the edible tubers, the roots, which wild one, and even the fruits and roots that grew naturally. These things they used to gather them, and they also hunted for birds and animals for their food, as we eat today the domesticated one, but they used to hunt in the forest and they used to eat naturally. The kind of food they gather is through the hunting. You know it very well. The earliest people, now we lead a very settled life, but they used to move from one place to another place. They used to hunt and they used to eat raw one. Cooking, today we have delicious food, adding salt and this masala, that masala, isn't it? But they used to eat a raw one, a raw meat they used to eat. They used to just, after the invention of the fire, they started cooking it or baking it on the fire, roasting it, and they started eating it. But these kind of ingredients were not present. So these things went on for many years. They did not grow any crop or they did not rear any animal in those days. So if you were sent to a forest, would you be able to find edible food there? Do you know what kind of food can be eaten and what are the poisonous food which should not be taken? Do you have any idea about that? We don't have that knowledge, isn't it? We eat whatever is available if we are hungry. But the people living in the forest, and especially earlier people in the sense, who are the earlier people here? Our ancestors, four ancestors, from where the human generations had come. So those people, when they don't have the knowledge of cultivating the food, but they have the knowledge which is a edible fruit and which should not be eaten. Edible means which can be eaten. Okay. If it is a poisonous fruit, will you eat? No. Isn't it? So such kind of knowledge they have, these earlier people had. And you need to know what food is edible and where it grows and where it is available and when it is available, in which season it is available. Also you should have that knowledge. The people living in the forest, they know it. In which season it is available, in which area it is available, whether it can be eaten or should not be eaten. This kind of knowledge the people have. And you may have need to know how to eat it also. Whether by removing its peel we should eat. Banana will you eat with the peel? No. We are not monkeys, isn't it? Even monkeys peel it off and they eat. So what fruit should be eaten in what way also should be known. Custard apple with the seed will you eat? No. So whether the mango will you eat with the seed? No. So this knowledge you should have. What should be eaten and how it should be eaten also you should know it. And does it have to be cooked or pounded or ground with something else or soaked in water? How it should be eaten? We should have the knowledge. So you know it. Some should be cooked and should be eaten. Like bamboo shoots, they should be boiled, and when they become tender, okay, then we should eat it. And a few of the fruits should be soaked in the water. Soaked? What do you mean by soak? Before washing the clothes, we soak it in the water. Or otherwise, in order to make the idli, okay, the before night, your mother will put that dal in the water and they soak it. Okay, bigna. It's called as bigna. So this knowledge will help them to know what should be eaten and how it should be eaten. Even to hunt, the hunters need to know the hunted animal very well. Its entire behavior you should know it before hunting. Where does it spend different parts of the day? Where does it eat or drink water from? And in what way is it dangerous? What are the uses of its parts, the animal parts? You should have this knowledge before hunting. Simply hunting is not possible. You should know, okay, before going to hunting, how dangerous the animal is, where does it spend much of its time, from where does it eat and where does it drink from. This knowledge and how its parts are useful to us. Over many generations, the earlier people had learnt about all these things and taught them to their children. So this knowledge has helped us also to eat these kind of things. Do you eat chicken, children? Liver? Do you eat the liver? Liver. So what kind of part is really good for the health is also known to us. This knowledge is passed from generation to generation. And this is how we should have the knowledge about the hunted animals. And about the stone tools, let us see in the next class. Okay, thank you.